Okay, so if you're joining us for the first time, just make sure you've got a fair amount of space around you. So if you're joining us for the first time, just make sure you've got a fair amount of space around you. So if you're joining us for the first time. Can you hear me? Or am I echoing?
No, you can hear you. We can hear you. Just echoed a little bit, but all good now.
Okay, cool. So a couple of arm lengths around you. And we're just starting on our knees today. For those that are on, thank you for joining us today, starting your morning with the stretching. We are also recording this session where you can do it at any point in time that you like. So we're going to start off with some deep breaths. So if you'd like, close your eyes. And just taking a nice deep breath in. Try and count for 4. And a deep breath out, trying to release nice and slowly for 3 or 4 counts. And just coming to a place where we can center ourselves. Let go of anything that might have happened this morning. Letting go of the to-do lists and all of the meetings and activities that we have on throughout the day, and just taking this time, this next 30 minutes, to be present, focused on you and your body this morning. And with the next breath, we just open our eyes slowly. We'll just intertwine our hands and pop them up above our heads. Intertwining our hands. Hey Whitney, can you just grab your timer for me? I'm just going to pop on our timer, make sure we don't go over time. So intertwining the hands. Up above the head, nice big stretch. Leaning our hips to the left and our body to the right. I know it'll look opposite on the video. Taking a deep breath in here, filling up our lungs, filling up our rib cage, and releasing, coming back into the center, and then going over to the other side. And on the exhalation, coming back into the center, releasing the hands by the side. We're going to drop our chin to chest and stretch out our neck. We'll start off with an anti-clockwise roll to our right ear, to our right shoulder, and dropping our neck forward. Left ear to the left shoulder, so half semicircles here. Enjoy it, mate. Just releasing the tension there through the upper neck, maybe through the front of the neck as well. I get quite tense in the front of my neck. And with the next one, roll all the way through, gentle rolls today, all the way through. 3 anti-clockwise, and then 3 clockwise. Just releasing all the tension through the neck. You might hear your neck click. That's fine. Just go nice and slow, nice and slow. And do what feels right for your body this morning. It might be tighter, looser than where it was yesterday. And bring it back into the center after your third roll, intertwining the hands again. Hands on the back of the head, gently tipping the head forward again. Taking a deep breath in here. And with the exhalation, trying to release that neck forward a little bit more. So gently pushing on the back of the head, on the base of the neck forward, getting a deeper stretch into the back of your neck. And with your next inhalation, lifting up and releasing. So we're going to jump onto our fronts today, and we're going to work with our I suppose, extending our back, our lower back muscles. So I'll do it on the side. Hopefully you've got enough space. So you're gonna lay flat today. So I'm gonna drop down to my tummy, all the way down. And what I wanna do is pop my hands out in front of me like Superman. All right, so like Superman. And we wanna make sure our quads or the front of our legs are flat into the ground. Okay, and if you've got lower back problems today, take it easy. We want to switch on our core as well. So when we switch on our core, we're trying to suck our stomach muscles towards our spine. And what we're going to do is just gently lift one arm forwards, looking forwards, and then releasing. Okay, and then gently lifting the other arm and releasing, and doing that a couple of times on each side. And you might feel that your lower back's extending here, or there's a little bit of a stretch. That's perfectly fine. Keep going with those stretches. So just warming up here. And making sure that we're switching on that core, so belly towards spine to protect that lower back. Once you've done one more each side, what we want to do now is lift legs. So we'll do this separately. So we're lifting our left leg off the floor, trying to get our quads, the front of our legs up, and then right leg off the floor, left leg off the floor, right leg off the floor. Keep your head facing forward here, don't be looking at me. And squeeze your butt, make sure you keep your core nice and tight there. And with your next round, what I want you to do is lift opposite arm, opposite leg. So I'm lifting my right arm, left leg off the ground, and releasing with the next inhalation, lifting left arm, right leg off the ground, and releasing, and going through that motion 3 or 4 times on each side, going at your own pace. The repetition doesn't matter, the counts don't matter. It doesn't matter if you do 2 or 5. What matters is just doing them well and doing what feels right for your body. Okay, and from here, we're just going to put our hands by our chest and come down into a child's pose and just stretch out that lower back. Dropping our head in, reaching the arms out and trying to reach our bum to our heels. I'm coming up into a tabletop here, so hands directly underneath the shoulders. What we do is with the inhalation, lift, suck in our belly muscles. And with the exhalation, we're going to kick our bum out, flatten our back, look up towards the ceiling or towards the wall in front of us. And continuing that movement. This protraction of the shoulders is great for releasing all the tension in our shoulders, upper back muscles that we get from being hunched over our laptops. So do a couple more of these. Breathing in and releasing. And then coming back into a child's pose again. And taking a couple of deep breaths into our backs here. And on the next inhalation, we come up again into our tabletop. We're going to walk our hands out and lie back down, back into that Superman position. What I'd like you to do now is take your left hand, reach out and grab your left ankle or foot or calf here. Right arms nice and long, and if you can, try and lift it a little bit off the ground, just a little bit. You'll feel perhaps the stretch through the front of the leg, perhaps not. And then release, and try it one more time, lift, and release. Letting go of that leg, taking the left arm out nice and long, going to the opposite side, and we try the same thing, we lift, and you might find that one side is a little bit tighter than the other, and release. You don't need to go up too far, even a millimeter or a centimeter is perfectly fine. Getting that stretch in front of the leg. You might also feel it in your lower back. Make sure you keep your quads switched on. Now, if this feels okay for you this morning, what What we're going to do is we're going to try and lift both of our legs off the ground at the same time and do a nice backward bend. If it doesn't feel okay for you today, go back into your Superman's, opposite leg, opposite arm. But if you can, we take both of our hands, grab both of our legs, looking forward, chest open, and we lift, trying to take legs off the ground a little bit, keeping our chest up nice and high and releasing. Again, switching the core on, squeezing our butt muscles, and lift, taking a deep breath in and release. Keeping the head facing forward, the neck nice and loose, trying it one more time. Lift and release. Nice work, everyone. Just popping our legs down onto the ground, hands by the chest, lifting up into a knee plank there, core nice and tight. Just take it back into a child's pose. And relaxing here for a couple of breaths. And from here, we're going to lift back up into our half plank, so dropping our hips forward. So come up into a tabletop and drop your hips forward, switching on that belly, nice and tight. And what we'll do is just lower into like a half tricep push-up, getting our chest to the ground, chin to the ground, and then lifting. Looking up if you can. Legs should still all be on the ground. Then we come back into a child's pose. And from here, back into a half plank. I'm going to lift my feet off the ground this time. Okay, so doing that half tricep push-up on our knees. Chin to the ground. I'm doing this slowly. You can go much quicker than this. And then lifting up into like an upward facing dog. And then coming back. I'm just trying to get some mobility into our hips here. So we'll do that a couple more times. Getting some mobility into the hips here. Coming forward. Half tricep push-up. Chest, chin down. Slithering through. Legs are up. Okay, I'm coming to a tabletop here. On your last one, and we'll get some circular movement going into our hips. Circular movement. 5 each side, coming all the way around. When you get to your 5th one, going the other way. Good, and back into the center when you're ready, into a tabletop. I'm going to turn my toes under here. And lift through my hips, come up into a downward dog, dropping the head. Just trying to extend the length in the back of my legs. You might want to walk each leg, so dropping each heel here. Just to get some movement going through your ankles. I hear my ankles clicking here. It's perfectly fine. Drop to your left heel and hold. Feel that nice deep stretch in the back of your left leg. And then lift up onto your toes. Drop to your right heel. And hold. Lift up onto both of your toes and then drop both heels. Now it's first thing in the morning, your heels might not reach the ground. That's fine, mine aren't. All good. And then just coming up, dropping the knees down and back into a child's pose. And holding it there, dropping your head in. Just gonna jump on and see how you're all going here. It's good to see you all. Taking a couple of deep breaths. So we're in a more gentle state this morning. And from here, come back into our tabletop. Coming back into our tabletop. I'm going to turn my toes under again and go straight into a downward dog. taking it forward into a plank. So I'm rolling over into a plank. I'm adjusting my fingers. Index fingers pointing forward, elbows rolling in a little bit. If you need to, we drop to the knees here. If you don't, stay up nice and tall on your toes. And take our right foot outside of our right hands. Right foot outside of our right hand. Now, if you need to, we drop our left foot down, our left knee down. If you don't, you can stay up on your toes. You should feel the stretch here through your right groin, left hip flexor. I feel it through my right outer hip, my butt. It's a nice stretch to be in. If you'd like to go a little bit harder, we can take our left hand up, we twist it, gentle twist. Looking up towards our middle finger. Nice work, everyone. And then drop our hand down, taking our right foot back, lifting our left knee off the ground, right foot back, go back into that full plank. You can drop to the knees if you need to, or from here we go back into a downward dog, stretch out the back of our legs again. On your next breath, we take the left foot forward to the outside of the left hand, or as far, as close as we can to it, dropping that right knee if you need to. All right, holding it there. I've got the back of my arm, my tricep, opening up my knee a little bit there, getting a deeper stretch. And if you like, lifting the hand up off the ground and getting a little twist in here. Work, I'll keep facing the screen. Taking a couple of deep breaths in here. And then hand to the ground, lifting our back knee up, taking our left leg back, dropping to the knees if we need to, or back into a downward dog. We'll take our right foot forward, our right foot to our left hand, okay, and then dropping our right knee to the ground, left knee to the ground. So this is the look, we're in like a half pigeon. We did this last week, for anyone that was on last week. I'm gonna face the screen now, so I'll turn around. So I've got my right heel and my left knee aligned. If you're anything like me, who's wonky in the hips, that's perfectly fine. So you should feel a deep stretch in your right butt hip area here, and even your left one. What we're going to try and do is lift up out of our chest and just walk the hands forward a little bit. See what feels good for your body this morning. Getting a nice stretch into the hips. Our hips get really tight because we're sat a lot of the time whilst we're driving, whilst we're having dinner, whilst we're working. Moving over to the right side, If you can, elbows to the ground. If you're blessed with tightness like me, won't get too far down. If you're cursed with flexibility like Whitney here in my room, you get all the way down. Moving over to the left side. I used to, when I did a retreat overseas, we had this fantastic yoga teacher that would always say, if you're blessed with tightness or cursed with flexibility. So it's something that's stuck for many, many years. Okay, I'm coming back up into the center. Then take my right hand behind me, not all the way behind, on an angle outside of my right hip. And what I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to lift my hips up and power through my arms to get some length through the front of my body here. So give that a try and then drop and come back up and lift again. You might want to put your left hand on your left hip to help you. Open up the chest, and if you like, take your arm up over your head. Just get a nice stretch, length through your body. You can tuck your left arm over your left ear and get that length through that left side of your body and drop. And try that a few more times. Lift. Get that length. Remember to keep your core switched on, your belly nice and tight the whole time. And drop and try one more time. Go at your own pace. Go at your own pace. and drop there. Good work. Now, how are we going to get out of this one? This is going to be fun. So I'm going to jump up and turn it around. So I'm coming up onto my left leg first, taking my right leg back and jumping into a downward dog. Turn on the side again. Up onto the tippy toes again and dropping the heels. And whilst you're doing that, I'll just explain why I do so much hamstring work, which is the back of the legs. So for those that are blessed with tightness in your lower back, believe it or not, if you stretch out the back of your legs, your hamstrings, if you can get onto a roller, and we can talk about doing some rolling work, the release of the tension in the back of your legs will release your lower back. Okay. So a big believer of stretching out the back of the legs. We'll take that left foot forward now. So left toes to right hand, dropping the left knee down, lining up the left heel with the right kneecap, up nice and tall. So in the half pigeon pose here, and with the next breath in, if you like, bring it forward. And you might find that you're tighter on one side, much tighter on one side than the other. I certainly have a really poor left side. I often say to my hubby that I just need a drill and some WD-40 to loosen it up. If only were that simple in the hip. Moving over to the left side and dropping, you start to feel it in your outer hip here on your left side. You might even feel it in your right hip. And with the next inhalation, bringing it over to the right side. You might be able to get your elbows on the ground, you might not, that's fine. Do what your body lets you do today. And with the next inhalation, bringing it into the center and lifting up nice and gently. We'll go back into that lift of the hips. So left hand up behind my left butt cheek. Okay, and with my inhalation, I'm going to lift, try and lengthen through the front. I can take the hand up and pop it over the ear, and I can release. And taking another deep breath in, working at your own pace here, and lift, really opening up that hip flexor area, the groin, getting that strength in the outer hips here, and drop. We'll do a couple more rounds. And one more, coming up with a breath in and dropping the butt down. Good, I hope you're feeling a little bit looser in those hips. So from this, we'll take our hands forward, and I'll lift up onto, or roll up onto my right knee and my left knee, and I'll pop it back and come back into a downward dog. Again, walking out the feet, and loosening up the back of the legs, and just bringing it down into a child's pose. Coming back up into a tabletop, and cross our legs. Now, crossing our legs. We'll do some gentle twisting. So I thought we'd keep today's class less vigorous. So I've got my right foot crossed in front of my left foot, just swaying side to side onto my butt. And before we do some twisting, I'll show you something that helps me loosen up my hips. So I'm going to grab and cradle my right foot and my right knee. So I've got my left hand in my left foot, and I'm cradling like a baby. And what I'm doing here is I'm gently swaying, just getting some movement. So whatever feels good here, sway left to right, try and do circles, and just getting some movements some mobility into that right hip socket. I'll just pop that leg down. Left hand onto the right knee, lifting up nice and tall, taking my right hand up and behind me, gentle twisting. So take a deep breath in and twist. Okay, so you're trying to get your chin over to the back of your right shoulder. I'm going to keep facing forward. I'll show you the move. And with each breath, we're trying to lengthen and get deeper into that twist. Take a couple of deep breaths here. So that hip, that cradling hip, I was at a Buddhist center and we were about to do meditation and I couldn't sit in the right spot. And so the Buddhist monk said to me, oh, do this to loosen up your hips. I'm like, look, love your work, but I've got arthritis in this hip, so it doesn't quite loosen it up the way that it does. But she was insistent that if I loosened up my hips, I'd be able to sit in this meditative position for a long period of time. All right, and come out of that gently. We'll start on the other side. So for those of you who are maybe getting into meditation, so I've got my right hand cradling my left hand cradling my right foot. Just getting some mobility, twisting, circles. So for those of you who might be starting a meditation practice or using an app, don't feel that you need to be in any particular position. I often meditate standing, sitting, lying, whatever feels right. Meditation is really about just focusing on a level of breathing. Twist it the other way here. Trying to clear the mind, being present, being in the moment. So you don't need to be sat in a Buddhist monk position to do that. All right, and bring it down. Right hand onto left knee. Lifting hands up, popping them up behind me, lengthening and gentle twist. Trying to reach my head over the back of my left shoulder. Taking a couple of deep breaths here and getting deeper into that twist. Coming out of that gently into the center. What we'll do is we'll come onto our backs now for the last couple of minutes. Coming onto our backs and then lie down. Cradle knees into chest and gently sway left to right. Massaging our lower back. Popping our hands on our knees and creating gentle circles. Knees into the chest and pushing them away. Knees into the chest, pushing them away. Try not to roll over. Going the other way here. I'm back into the center. Just going to grab my right hand to the outside of my left knee and gently drop my knees to my right side. Left hand is out. Nice and long, shoulder height. Dropping the head over the left shoulder. So looking in the opposite direction to your knees. Feeling that stretch to the lateral area underneath the left armpit through your left hip. And gently returning the head to the center. Coming back up into the middle and grabbing my left hand outside of my right knee. Gently releasing my knees to the other side. My right arm's nice and long. Right. If it feels right for you, dropping your head gently over your right shoulder. And then bringing our knees back into the center, rocking back and forth, rocking back and forth, back and forth. And come up with your next one. facing the middle. Just taking 2 deep breaths here. I know that many of you probably join a meditation in a few moments' time. So as you're taking a deep breath in, close your eyes. In through the nose and let it out through the mouth. And one more. And with that, opening your eyes. Beautiful way to enter the meditation class if that's what you're doing next. Thank you for joining. And just take this few seconds to give thanks to yourself for doing something nice for yourself today to start your Wednesday and the middle of the week. And have an amazing day.
Thank you, Helen.
Thanks, Helen. Thanks, Helen.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Hey, take care. Enjoy.